We're coming up on year end, and that means it's time to do a little goal setting. It's time to close out this year's books and plans and start planning for next year. And a lot of us are in the middle of this in terms of year-end budgets anyway, and planning for the holidays and planning for getting ready for next year. So it's a good time to look at the subject of goal setting. In this three-part video series, I'll look at goal setting and what makes a good goal. What kind of goal is easier to achieve? So that as we're setting our goals, we can be doing it consciously in formats that will help us achieve them next year. So one of the things I want to do is look at one of the strengths and weaknesses of a traditional goal format that we use in business, and that is the narrow, measurable goal. It looks like this. In 2013, we're going to reduce our customer turnover by 2%. It's a very specific goal. At this time next year, we'll be able to check the box or not on that. We'll know if we achieved it. And in that sense, that kind of goal has a strength. It's easy to know whether it was achieved or not. But it also, stated that way and only that way, has a number of limitations. And so let's look at what those limitations are so we can make sure to overcome them. One of the limitations is that it doesn't provide very much information about what success really looks like. We know what success looks like on the spreadsheet, but we're not sure what success looks like in terms of the customers and customer service and the sales team. And all of those people are really involved in achieving that goal. And there are things we're going to have to change in the system, the human system, that will make that goal achievable or not. So all that information that helps the people, the humans in the system that need to achieve that goal, isn't contained in the statement, reduce customer turnover by 2%. That's one limitation. A second limitation is that reality happens. So that's a great goal in a steady state, but next year, maybe the company goes through a merger acquisition. Maybe a major product launch doesn't go well. A lot of resources get sucked into trying to accommodate fixing it. Could be any number of things that reality will present us with that goal will have to adjust to. And again, the goal itself, as it's stated, doesn't provide much information to help the people who are trying to execute it meet it under changing circumstances. This same thing happens to us in personal life. We set a goal like we're going to sleep 30 more minutes a night, or we're going to do more writing or speaking or something to advance our professional career. And then our mother-in-law moves into the basement, or something else happens in our life that makes it difficult to achieve that goal. And pretty soon we find that the goal that we set in our actual life are so far out of sync, we don't see how to bring them into sync without sort of having a new life or creating a new life. And this is a frustrating place to be because we're in our life and we like our life. So in the next video, I'm going to talk more about how we can set goals that are more able to deal with reality and do have more information associated with them as to what success looks like. But for this video, what I'd like to ask you to do, I'd like to ask you to look back at this year. Look at the goals that you had professionally and personally that you achieved. What was different about those goals than the ones you didn't achieve? What was it about the way the goals were stated or the way you understood them or the way you passed them down to your team that made them easier to achieve? And think about that for a little bit and take some notes and think about how in your goal setting for next year, you can set goals in ways that are more likely to be achieved. And in the next video, we'll talk about what some of those things might look like.